Finally, we have not fixed the commercial property tax issue in this city, and we all know it. The current plan was designed not because it works, but because it represents an acceptable political compromise. I'm a politician, but I'm here to tell you we cannot afford to settle for a solution that comes at the expense of effective results. We cannot afford to die on the vine of incrementalism. This problem is unsolved, and as long as it remains so, Toronto's economic potential remains unfulfilled. These challenges are surely complicated by others, but they capture the principal barriers I believe we must come to grips with in renewing and revitalizing our economic potential. During the course of my campaign, I will lay out policy proposals to tackle these and other challenges. I will lay out an agenda for decisive change. After all, leaders should lead. The mayor and the city councillors cannot be afraid to take new directions and establish new policies. Better that a politician risk his or her job than an idea that might create jobs for Ontarians, and Torontonians especially, be overlooked. What I'm trying to say is get ready for change. And starting today, I intend to use this campaign to define the kind and the contour of the change I mean. So let me share with you the principles that would guide my approach to advancing economic opportunity. First, let me make it abundantly clear. As mayor, my top priority will be job creation. Good jobs, well-paying jobs, jobs focused on the future, jobs that can support a family. Because our ability to grow, to attract and create jobs is the fundamental measure and most potent predictor of our ability to secure the quality of life and the standard of living that Torontonians deserve. For me, the discussion takes on two dimensions. First, what does it mean for working families as a result of our efforts? Are they better off? And second, are we creating and supporting enterprises that are more productive and more competitive? Because those are the kind that create lasting prosperity. And I see no contradiction between productivity and a pro-union posture. I have no quarrel with organized labor that seeks to work in partnership towards a more productive outcome. Second, I feel strongly that a regional economic perspective must guide our approach in the coming decades. I call it the platform of regional reality, an acknowledgement that Toronto's economic interests are best served when we work with surrounding cities and municipalities rather than simply compete against one another. There's a whole province, a country, and a world to compete against. Here at home, let's combine our efforts. Let's reposition Toronto as the motor that rests at the center of a powerful economic region. This will be a cornerstone of my approach should I be rewarded the privilege of serving as Toronto's mayor. To those who say the job of mayor is to mind the interests of the City of Toronto, I say the interests of Toronto can no longer be defined solely by those signs that are posted at our city's limits. We need to be pragmatic. If we make the most of our region as a whole, we will make the most for the people of Toronto. And in that respect, I want to return to my earlier comments about the critical nature of transit. Let's look at the integrated regional picture, from bus to subway to GO service and beyond. And we must be grateful that Metrolinx is emerging at last, thanks in part to the strong advocacy of the Toronto Board of Trade. Because ease of transport brings ease of commerce, and ease of commerce brings jobs and growth. It's just that simple. The third principle that will guide my economic approach is that local government must partner with local businesses and community-based entrepreneurs. We simply cannot afford to pretend that municipal government can do it alone. A new spirit of civic entrepreneurship is required. And we desperately need to leverage our strengths in financial services, in manufacturing, in tourism, in arts, culture, and entertainment. We need better sectoral strategies. And government and business, everyone must work together to locate new ways to foster new growth. Again, I draw from my recent experience at the provincial level. The Green Energy Act is attracting interest from foreign investors with a rewarding regime for alternative energy generation. There's no reason that Toronto cannot be a leader in this space, in particular when it comes to solar power. But it won't happen on its own. Municipal leaders and local business leaders and organized labor and local communities must make it a common priority. Promoting green energy uniquely allows us to advance our economic self-interest and our desire to address climate change at the very same time. Fourth, the reality of our time is one of restraint in public spending. Whatever debates we have in the political season to come, there can be no real room for pretending that we can increase budget expenditures without increasing city revenues. And I don't believe that the way to nurture a fragile recovery is through the imposition of new taxes. Yes, the city has been given new powers of taxation, but no, that does not mean the taxpayer is an unlimited resource. A good example of not appreciating this fact is to be found in the staff proposal currently under consideration by Council that could apply a $50 service charge for the privilege of establishing a new property tax account. We've got to take a hard look at what the city does, why it does it, and whether it should continue to do it. We've got to leverage our assets, and we've got to be strategic about what we own. And of course, we've got to focus ourselves and fit our budgets to our means, not the other way around. We also have to explore alternative financing arrangements, as I mentioned earlier, particularly when it comes to infrastructure. There are innovations we can introduce, savings we can reap, and benefits we can exploit, and we can do it in a way that is respectful to labor relations. It's a matter of political will. It's a matter of political leadership. Finally, we've got to fix our tax base. Residential taxpayers do not need any new weight placed upon their shoulders. We have to protect families that are already stretched to the limit. By the same token, if you want a policy sure to drive business from your city or to turn investment away, then look no further than our current commercial tax regime. To speak responsibly of a growth strategy for our local economy and not speak of commercial tax reform is simply hypocritical. It is fundamentally about our competitiveness. Will it be easy? No. Do we need to find a balanced outcome? Yes, of course. Will the current multi-year plan get the job done? Not on your life. We have to do better, and to pretend otherwise is to do just that, to pretend. Guided by these principles, I want to be the kind of mayor that takes the tough decisions and shows the kind of leadership necessary to catalyze job creation and boost economic activity. In closing, I want to add a personal note. I am someone who grew up in Etobicoke. I'm a son of this community and someone who has benefited from its diversity, its strength, and its unique nature. I'm a truck driver's son who became a small businessman at the corner of Church and Wellesley, a gay man who gained acceptance because of this city's enormous generosity. And I am a politician of some 10 years standing, bringing what I hope will be seen as a record of results in office. As health minister, I tackled wait times and expanded the delivery of patient-centered care to hundreds of thousands. As Deputy Premier and Minister of Energy and Infrastructure, I oversaw the largest commitment of stimulus in Ontario's history and laid the foundation for what I believe will be a revolution in green manufacturing. But most important of all, I am a Torontonian, and I know our city can be a great economic power provided we summon equally great political will. That is what I have to offer, a focus, an energy, an absolute desire to force a better future. It all starts with jobs and economic growth, and that's where I will start as well if I am elected to serve as mayor. Thank you very much.